Welcome to another episode of Golden Nuggets with Silvia Eldawi. And today I'm joined by Joe Robert Moufarrej, the brain behind HappyTenant, which is redefining the landscape of the real estate industry by bridging the gap between property managers, landlords, and tenants. Welcome to the show, Joe.
Thank you. Welcome. Thank you.
Tell us a bit about yourself and your journey and about
myself. Interesting, because I've been in Dubai for a very long time, and when it's come to real estate industry, I saw the boom and I saw all this growth in the region between Dubai, Saudi, and all over the world. So, and as the company is HappyTenant, so we are all tenants. So imagine me being a tenant in the industry for a long time, and there are so many story to tell about being a tenant, and there are so many problems that we wanted to solve. I think everyone here is tenants. We're all renting and moving houses. So the whole idea started by how can I solve this? How this technology can actually help me as a tenant first, and then help the industry itself. So
and that's what the season is all about. So we're calling it the PropTech season. It's all about real estate industry related technology. And when it comes to tech adoption, where would you rate the real estate industry's digital transformation?
It's a big question,
because it's a big industry. There's
big
a lot
industry.
of wheels.
And let's talk about the banking sector, for example, like how banks evolved, and then things used to be manually, and you go to the bank itself, to the branch, and do something, and now everything is done on the mobile, or the health industry. So I believe that the real estate is way behind any other industry when it comes to technology and digital transformation. So we still go back to our home with key and access card and million things, you know what I mean, instead of having one app.
We should be over keys by now.
I think, so the industry itself, it's one of the oldest industries. It's a way older than banks or healthcare, and still, this is the adoption of the of technology is still way behind. But now, in the last 5 years, we see that things are moving, and everything is moving toward. Everything is coming toward how can we make the experience better for all parties.
And I think it is because the process, there are so many layers to the industry. From property portals to leasing to the transaction to then the actual home, and then what happens after, and automation and digital, going paperless and carbon footprint and all of this. There's so many moving parts. But if you could just share with us how HappyTenant evolved, what was the story behind HappyTenant?
Actually, at the beginning, we thought that we are trying to solve the frustration that the tenant have. We are all having this problem, and how can we solve it? And then we started with one app, with one software.
What were the main problems that you?
First of all, let's start with meeting the agent, let's say, and seeing the apartment, and then going to pay the deposit, and then getting the contract signed, and moving to the apartment, the moving in process. You know what I mean? Renewing the contract. Any problem happen in your house, trying to call someone for 5 times to answer the phone call. Those kind of the day-to-day that everybody face normally. And we try to say, okay, how can we bridge the gap, and how can make everything coming into seamless without any paperwork, without any kind of thing that you have to go do it yourself, and calling and everything.
Friction.
So we started with we thought that the issue is coming from the tenant. We are the only one who's frustrated. So when we went to the market, we realized that this frustration not only for the tenant, this coming also from the landlord, also is frustrated. The agent is frustrated. The property manager is also frustrated. So and this is how we started. Growing the software and growing the communication. So we started with one app for the tenant, and then we moved to an app for the landlord, because the landlord came and said, "Oh wow, tenant have an app and his life is easier. I want also my life to be easier. And I think you remember also, like, things happen, like we work together from day one, and then we realized actually that everybody coming and seeing the system say, okay, if he's happy, I want to be happy too. So we start with the tenant, and then move to the landlord, and then move to the facility manager with the maintenance. And then we realized actually to make our life more difficult, we developed the inspector app, which is the moving in, moving out, because this is where there's a lot of frustration. You move in,
condition,
you don't know how you move to the apartment, and you're moving out, there's some problem, you have to pay and everything. So there was no really clarity and transparency. So we wanted to address this transparency issue in the real estate industry, and I want everybody to be happy. And this caused us to really look around the whole ecosystem and not to look at one element of the industry, and make sure that every stakeholder in the industry is well been taken care of.
Yeah, so I mean, in terms of going back to the real estate providers or the real estate agencies and brokerages, I know for me, I was, I've known you now for 7 years, and I remember I can't remember how I came across HappyTenant, but it was something, I had invented HappyTenant in my mind years ago. I was like, why doesn't someone just create an app that bridges between the landlord, the tenant, the property manager? And then when I saw it existed, I was like, that was my idea. Someone's already done it. So I reached out to you guys, or I can't remember if it was you guys that reached out to me, but I was blown away by the application. You hadn't rolled it out yet, because your background is like, you were kind of like a brands person. You were
more UI UX, more software, but like not
so I ended up kind of saying, okay, well, if you can commit to working with us and developing it to our needs, let's do this. Like, let's take it
100%
out there. And what I really liked about HappyTenant was that it enabled me to be able to close big clients, so big property management portfolios. They were blown away. So of course we had our own, unique selling points and so on, but this was like the cherry on top that impressed landlords so much for their tenants, not necessarily for what it did for them, but if my tenants are going to be able to enjoy this application and all the benefits it brings, we want to appoint you as our portfolio managers. So
100%. I want to add something for it, because we work by listening to our client needs, and we thought that this issue is a UAE or Dubai issue. And then when we went to different markets, went to the US, we went to Europe, Asia, we realized actually this everywhere the same problem. And until now, everybody's suffering from the same thing. And that's why our key success, we say that we always adapt, we always listen to the customer, and we are helping real estate company to attract bigger landlords, to attract bigger investors to come and manage their industry, their portfolio.
And so how would it we know how it makes maybe the property manager's life easier. How does it make the agent's life easier? So if, let's say I'm an agent, I'm not interested in leasing or property management or anything like this. I just want to focus on off-plan or secondary sales. How do you make their lives easier?
I think if you are an agent going to sell an apartment or selling a building to someone, it will make it much easier for you to tell the investor that I'm not going to only sell it for you, but I will manage it for you in the future. First of all, it will give more security for the investor, that not only one transaction, and this is something that all the real estate agent have to think about. It's not anymore a quick transaction, say sales or commission on sales. It's about how to keep those investors working with you for the long term, selling them more, make them happy to manage their property, and make sure that their ROI is growing because they have someone to trust. So practically, the main point here is actually to make sure that the agents feel more confident and then tell to the investor, I'm being transparent, I'm providing you with the right technology, go ahead, work with me. That's the main solution for the agent.
And I think you hit the nail on the head. Like a lot of we'll talk about the real estate market in particular, but the general style of most agents is kind of hit it and quit it. Like I'm just trying to make a sale, get my commission, and then move on to the next. But actually, that's a big mistake when you think, okay, it's this person that bought through you. Could be your biggest ambassador, and
100%,
could close further deals with you, could refer you. But if you just end your service at handing over the keys, then you've lost recurring revenue.
100%. Yeah, this is exactly what we're focusing. For Saudi markets upcoming, we have client in the UK, and then we realize that all those issues are all similar, and we're trying to empower the real estate company to feel more confident to come to talk to big investor and tell them, listen, we have the technology, we're going to help you with it, just work with that.
So typically, we have to go, and not always by choice, but we have to look to the US, and even the UK companies have to look to the US PropTech companies to find their solutions. How do you, little HappyTenant in Dubai, Dubai-based or Dubai-grown, how do you enter those markets? Like, how do you challenge the US versions and
it kind of very, for us, it's a very interesting moment of our growth in our company, because let's say the real estate industry in Dubai have gained much popularity globally. So whenever we say we are solving a solution of real estate from Dubai, the people take us, oh wow, because it is a big industry in Dubai. So, and when we come and say, because Dubai have the image of being progressive, technology-driven, and everything, help us a lot as a brand, being a Dubai brand going to the US market or the UK market, and then, listen, guys, we have a solution for you. But we are coming from Dubai, by the way, and we have a lot of real estate, and we are growing so quickly. So the Dubai image help us a lot as a brand, because the industry is actually big. So the industry, I'm going to repeat the sentence, the industry of real estate in Dubai is growing and have a good reputation globally. It helped a lot our reputation that as a brand to grow. So it's a win-win for both of us.
Yeah.
So
And how does it work with, like, how hard is it to change from dirhams to dollars or pounds, or each country and each emirate even has its own little special ways of doing things, or ways that you have to adjust the software. So how easy is that for you
this is something that we work on from day one. We understood very well the market, that between every country have different kind of contract, different kind of taxes, and all this our customer can easily do it themselves, from the back end, just like change the currency, change the tax for different area between residential, commercial, retail, all the kind of thing can be easily done. So the technology itself is actually always been the idea to make things faster and cheaper. And anything that doesn't really answer those two things, it's not going to be working. So for us, the system that we're working on is very flexible. Anyone can move things around. They don't have to come back to us to ask us anything. So it's more customer driven. The UI, the UX itself is very easy. People want to look at something that make them easy to use, not to hire someone with a PhD in IT to manage our software. Anyone who can have Facebook page or Instagram page can actually work on our HappyTenant platform. And it's something we always make sure that we make it simple, easy, friendly, and good looking.
Yeah. Which it is, I can vouch for. So just to go into a bit more detail about what the application actually does, just name a few of the things that you make faster and cheaper.
Yeah, actually, the first thing we want to make sure that normally, let's say the process of seeing an apartment and moving in, we want to really bridge the gap to make it shorter. How to do that? By empowering the tenant and the property manager and the agent to do things faster. So let's say, remember when we used to have to send the contract to be signed by DHL or someone, and then copies, and people come and everything. So now everything will be done easily.
Send it with the driver.
Yes, exactly. Yes. So this is something that actually will bridge the gap between 4 days to happen in 1 day. So practically you are winning, you are gaining, you're making more money because the moving in happened so quick. At the same thing when it's come to the landlord, something happened, you have to call the landlord and get the approval. Now the landlord get all the notification on his app, approve it. If there's any transaction happen that they want him to pay you or something, he can always pay online. Get the thing faster. So those are things that should have to be made very fast. And one of the most important things for the real estate industry, actually having the right data. We are providing the dashboard that business owners, CEOs, big landlord that can take decision because they have the live data on their platform. They can decide what's my occupancy rate, how much money I'm making, do I need to increase the rent, lower the rent, how to keep that my customer. So those kind of things make a big difference when someone starts to move from an Excel sheet and paper to actually a dashboard that actually is live for them. So the live information is something very important. We should definitely should see it and then see how really amazing those tools are.
I mean, that's how we used to manage properties back in the olden days, is on an Excel spreadsheet.
Exactly.
You had all the information on Excel, and then you're subject to human error.
Exactly, 100%.
Mistakes happen, things get lost or don't get.
And it's not only like you have phone calls. You used to receive per day more than 100 phone calls. I remember when you are managing all the portfolio, like your phone always ringing. The paperwork, everything have to be done in a way. You have to move something, and then there is no time. And the job of the property manager is not to answer phone calls and to send emails. Your job is to go to the community, see the building, what it needs, understand the client need, not to answer phone calls. So when the moment you cut down those kind of phone calls and then manage to have them everything on the app, and there is a study we say that more than 30% of the phone calls that the tenant calls their landlord actually asking information. Where's my parking? When my contract gonna end? I lost this copy of this. Can you send me the copy? So what we offer the tenant on the platform, like he can access all the information they need on the app. They don't need to call anyone. There's no need to question those things. And as you know, in Dubai, people pay rent advance in check, in PDCs. So there's always some issues about forgetting when is your upcoming check is coming. You know what I mean? And
this gives you reminders and
yes, all this have been sent reminder, automatic reminder, contract renewal, automatic reminder 90 days before the actual thing, because it have to be precise based on the local law. So all those kind of little things that make life so difficult for the property manager and the agent is been addressed and been solved. So people look into it now. I have time to focus. I have time to think strategically of what I want to do in my business.
And it is as well, like speaking from a tenant perspective, I was in a property that was managed by me, and I had the app as a tenant. And I mean, for me, my favorite part was opening tickets, maintenance tickets. So as a tenant, you don't want to be trying to call your property manager or, emailing them pictures or sending no. With the app, you just take a photo, select the issue, select when you're available as well. That's the other thing that I liked is, I don't want you to say, I'm sending someone around tomorrow. No, I'm at work tomorrow. I cannot be there between 9 to 6. So you put your availability for someone to send, for a maintenance team to come. You select the issue, you maybe leave a little bit of text on what the problem is, and you can send pictures and videos, upload it, and you don't have to speak to a single person.
100%. And if you look at any big cities, like between Dubai, London, New York, there are a lot of multiple nationality, and the language is a big barrier, regardless where you are. Like you are in Miami, or you are in New York, or you are in London. So whenever you try to avoid this kind of miscommunication, trying to explain to someone there's something is not working, better to send them video and then listen to the problem, they can see it. So visual cannot lie, so everything is clear. So that kind of thing, also gapping the communication issue and understanding different languages and different accents and different things. So it will help a lot for people to move faster and stuff like that.
And you don't have like as a real estate agent, you don't need to explain all of this.
100%.
You've got a lovely cartoon or video graphic thing on your website, happytenant.ae. Which it gives HappyTenant application in a nutshell in like 30 seconds.
100%,
you can walk your dog. What was it? You can find a pet date or whatever. If you're selling furniture, you can communicate with the your neighbors rather than trying to sell it on one of the classifieds apps. So it's like a community within the community and with the other stakeholders, as you mentioned.
Yes, 100%.
So again, going back to I'm in the mind of a real estate agent who's like, what's in it for me? What does this matter to me?
Yeah.
Just even saying that you are a forward-thinking real estate agent, future forward, hashtag future forward. Yeah. You are adopting technologies. This gives you credibility as a real estate agent.
Yeah.
And that helps you to stand out from the crowd.
Yeah, but there's one of the things that for the real estate agent, that because they have to use different platforms to different things, you know what I mean? When you come and tell them you have one platform that can answer all your things from, and this is something very important. Whenever we have an open API, we can integrate with any other solution, and this is also something that people look into with how can I integrate? What my integration? Do I need to really drop everything out and use HappyTenant? No, we can keep using whatever, and then we can integrate and grow on a bigger corporate level. And those are the small things that people really want to hear. Yeah. People want to know exactly what's happening in the system. It is something scalable. Now I'm managing 1,000 units. Tomorrow I might manage 100,000. It's insane. You know, we can always add and grow and everything. So it's very scalable. It's very fast. And of course, the whole idea is to make sure that we're listening to the industry growth. We're listening to what people are saying. The customer give us feedback, and the feedback we're getting from Dubai client is the same feedback getting from the UK client or from US client or from Asia. They are very similar. The industry is so similar. It's not really, people think it's like they're so different. A tenant is a tenant, regardless what you are. You have to pay your rent end of the month or every 6 months of every year. You have problem in the house, you have to change your AC. Everything is the same. But whenever you understand that this industry, you have to really have this kind of benchmark of how to make people happy. And this is very much for us. We were inspired by Sheikh Mohammed by saying, I want Dubai to be the happiest city. And this is the moment we say, okay, we're gonna launch the product called HappyTenant, because we believe in this.
We'll take that chunk of the city.
We wanted that because really, if we make people happy, that actually, that if your tenant is happy, he's not going anywhere. But he's not happy, he's going to leave you. You know what I mean? So that's the whole idea of how can we make everyone in the industry, from an agent to the property manager, to the tenant, to the landlord, to the CEO of the company, be able to communicate and reduce this kind of human error, as you mentioned before. I don't want to have any more, someone went on a vacation, the business is stopped. Someone is sick, everything is stopped. So now everyone can be in and out, working anywhere they want around the world, and the business is running, and you can have the right information. So from being inspired by Dubai vision, and be supported by the industry itself, we managed to actually go internationally. So the idea for us, we're going to start in Dubai, have the proof of concept, and then go to the US and launch it there. And then we realized actually our proof of concept is growing, and then everywhere from, like, let's say, I don't know, from Singapore to Thailand, have the same, Philippines. You'd be surprised. We're getting requests from all over the world asking us, we need a solution. We need to find how can we manage this portfolio.
Because it's taking up too much of their time. And it's going back to the first episode that we had on the season about AI. It's about agents should be spending time focusing on what they're good at, what they should be doing, their high value tasks.
100%.
This is such a low, like the problem that you're solving for is all the low value waste of time tasks.
100%,
how many times do you get a phone call saying, can you send me a copy of my contract? Can you, I need a copy of this. What's my DIWA number? What's my this? What's my, when's my check due? Those low value tasks.
100%, 100%,
So what else can real estate agents be doing to stand out from the competition?
I don't know. I think.
What's your experience been?
What is? Okay. Let's start with. Let's say if I'm meeting in any agent or any estate agents, and so I think that there's something that we need to talk about is the story, the storytelling. renting an apartment or buying a property.
I knew this would come from you because you're a brand guy. You're a branding guy.
Of course, yeah, it should be. It should be storytelling.
So it's all about storytelling.
You're not renting a space or a floor. You're renting an experience. You're renting something that you're gonna live. You have memories and everything. So how can you attract people by telling them a story and not telling them how many square feet and how much is the price? Tell them this is the location. This is something that can help a lot the agent to really come and make it more impactful on the buyer or on the tenant. And this is something that they have to shift this mentality of you want to buy, you want to rent, or you want to be part of this community. You know what I mean? So there are a lot of things that from storytelling, I feel like want to do it. What's important? Like we have to make sure that big landlords and a big agency to shift their mindset that those are not only your tenant, those are your customer and they need to be serviced.
And they're also your future buyers.
Yeah.
And then your future sellers.
Yes, exactly. It's like how can I, if you tell me I'm going to move to this apartment and I'm going to pay the rent, I'm going to tell you, okay, but listen, because you are living in my building, I'm going to give you extra services. And this is something so important. If I have an app in my hand where I can order my cleaning services, I can order my babysitting, and I can pay directly to my landlord, actually. So we have to change the shift in understanding. Those are not your tenants. Those are your customer, and you have to take care of them. Yeah. Not only collecting rent from them. So whenever you start providing those extra services, your life will be much easier. Why every time you want to do something, you have to go look online to see what cleaning company they're going to clean my house, where can I get a babysitter, where can I get a pest control, where can I get someone to... So we have to tell them that technology will allow landlord and big real estate company to make money, much more money. It's much more profitable for them. Not
selling
only to collect
services
and then answer the AC problem and answer the light problem. We have to tell them, give them more services, let them feel more unique. And technology itself used to be something very expensive 5-10 years ago. Now technology is affordable. Technology is there for you to help you to do it, and you don't need to really to go and reinvent the wheel. It's there. Those solutions are there. We just need to change the mindset from the old school of being a landlord collecting rent to being a landlord and giving their tenant services. That's what we want to focus on.
Okay, back to storytelling, because there's some golden nuggets here somewhere. Okay. From take off your HappyTenant app, put your branding hat on. Yeah. What's missing? What are the stories that are missing?
I think the stories are lifestyle. People are looking to rent a house just for looking at the space and how many bedroom and if you have a maid room or balcony or
Basics.
Not. So basic. It's like, but when you're moving to a new house, the agent have to start telling a story about lifestyle, why you are living in this area, why you are moving to the space, what's around you, what are you looking at every day. So this kind of story that have to be more narrative in a way to come and convince you, or not to convince you, like I'm going to tell you, if you have option one, you are close to the sea, you can swim in the morning, you can do a jogging. If you are a little bit more toward the mainland, you can go for a walk, you can ride your horse, you can do other things. So I think like even when they describe those apartments, 50 floor, Burj view, and that's it, you know what I mean? But they have to start telling you know what I mean? 50 minutes from the airport, I understand, thank you. With traffic gonna be 2 hours, okay, it's fine. So, but there is no story. So I think what's important is the storytelling, to really tell every house has a story, and then what's the story behind it, and how to convey the story, you know what I mean? So I believe the story is not there. I believe it's very aggressive, buy, and you can make money, and then whatever. So, but it depends, it's even investors who are investing in those apartments. I'm not gonna live there, but I know that this story is there, and in the future,
and it will help attract tenants.
It will help attract more tenants, help attract me to sell it faster in the future.
Like, it's funny actually, because when we both live in DIFC, and I came to yours, and the first thing that you pointed out, so when I was looking at the view and everything, the first thing that you pointed out was not the view or everything. It was the pool. There's like a pool near the palace or in the palace, and you mentioned that's where the horses swim every day
in the morning.
And I couldn't get that thought out of my mind that. Oh, you get to see from my living room, I can see the horses swimming in the pool.
Yes.
So when I went back to my building, I was like, let me see if I have the same view. And I could slightly see it, but it shifted everything. It's not about, Zabil view or whatever it may be. No, it's like, actually, when you wake up in the morning, you may be able to see a swimming horse.
Yeah, or training horse, or those are the things that actually I look for, and then nice sunrise in the morning is also interesting to see. You can see the bird, you can see those kind of element that I don't have everything I want, but at least I have a story that I can tell to people, and it's always been there the case. And this is personally how I look at real estate,
And I think that's something that's, we're going off topic here, but this is something that as real estate agents, when you're taking on a new listing, you do tend to just look for the facts, right? How many bedrooms? Let me get the square footage from the title deed. Let me find out what floor it's on. Let me find, it's just facts. And we're trying to sell on facts.
Yeah.
But actually, if you take it one step further and have a conversation with the seller or the current tenant to say, look, I just want to get a feel for what it's like living in this property.
Yeah.
And then you'll hear the stories about actually it's perfect because from 4 till 7 you have the most beautiful sunsets from the balcony. The neighbors are XYZ. You've got this that happens on a regular basis. There's this kind of community, and that is the story extraction part of it, rather than just getting the fact.
So AI has been around for the last 40 years, and there's been the development and growing and everything. In the last recent time, AI started to give more sense to how things can grow. From a software perspective, whenever we used to code and to improve our software, that take us, let's say, any new feature, it take us, let's say, a month or two to do it, or like a few weeks. Now it can be done within a few days. So the impact that everything is moving faster with the AI had a huge impact on the software and on the PropTech industry. Now in the US, some agent can call, AI can call a customer and tell them to buy or to invest in property. There is no human interaction. The AI can pick up the phone, and call someone, and have a conversation, and close the deal. And the same thing when it comes to coding, because the main purpose of AI at the beginning was to help coders. It was made by coders to help them to code. So practically imagine how the progress of the coding and how every software has been evolving and in a very fast process because of the AI.
And are we going to see any AI in HappyTenant?
Of course. We are moving in our V2 now, and a lot of features, a lot of reporting, a lot of information always been there, fed and then supported by the AI to make the journey faster and more exciting. Yeah.
And you probably have like 10% of the rental market in Dubai on HappyTenant.
Yeah.
Have you seen? Of course, like real estate brokerage is very transactional. It's very but the number of real estate companies that has, it's kind of doubled in the last 2 years.
Yeah. Have
you seen your customer base grow because of that? Are more companies doing property management, or are they just focused on sell?
Yeah, I think this is a very interesting question, because if you look at the industry itself, it's something very transactional, and people prefer to have hit and get the commission, grow and sell. But this is something that we've seen is changing a lot, especially during COVID and after COVID, when the agency, they stopped selling. So and then realize that property management is
the bread and butter.
Is something that can recurring. people always gonna stay there and everything, and then we see the growth of agency, and then they're growing their portfolio, and I believe that we saw clients where they used to manage 100 units, then now they have managing 500 and 1,000. So the whole mentality of the real estate that's moving from transaction to recurring revenue is something that helps a lot to stability for the real estate agency. If I have a company and I realize that I want to diversify, property management for sure will be one of the main anchor of my industry. And
WeWork was technically a property management company, and they just filed for bankruptcy.
Yeah, exactly. And it's a bit not because of the industry itself, because of the idea of raising money, and people want to raise more money and then raise more money, and then they forgot actually what is the purpose. So I'm starting a PropTech industry. And if from day one I'm thinking I want to start to raise money and I want to sell, I want to do something, I will unfocus anymore. I will not be any more focused
on the product
itself. Yeah. So my main
you're
vision.
Actually, there was something unique about you, is you specifically haven't gone out and raised.
No, not yet.
So
not
you're
yet.
a unique PropTech startup, because you're just
because we wanted from the beginning to build something that created an impact, and we all understood in our company that for us to be focused, we have to focus on the product and make it successful and create this impact, and then later on money will come. But if from day one I started a company thinking I want to sell it in 1 year, I want to make $1 million, and I want to raise fund, I want to raise 100 million, so that my focus will not going to be anymore on the product. So this is something that we want all of us as a startup in the product to focus on the product itself, and then money will come later on.
Yeah, and that's why I'm such a champion for property management as well. I speak to a lot of new real estate companies who are just purely focused on selling off plan or secondary market, and they're not interested in going down the property management route. But I'm saying if you're thinking about the future, you've got to have property management, because this is how you incubate your clients effectively. You're retaining them by continuing to give them services. So if you just focus on off plan, what's going to happen? You sell a property.
For me,
you hand over the key. And then they give it to another agency.
Yeah.
And
what happened at the moment, I have real estate company, and then property management become one of the offers. I believe it should be the opposite way.
Yeah.
It should be I have property management company, and then I do real estate for opportunity for big landlord to buy from me. So it have to have a mind shift in a way of looking at things. There's something I recommend any person who want to start a company, start
with
property management company, and then we will help you with that. Yeah.
But if you're an agent and you're listening to this, and your brokerage does not offer property management as a service, you have to think how progressive, how else are we retaining these clients, or how else are you going to win big contracts to sell full buildings if we don't have the property management relationship with it. So go to your CEOs and demand a property management company.
Silvia, you'll be surprised. It's happening as we speak. We're having calls every day from big agency in Dubai, in UK, in Saudi. They are looking into this. This is something part of our growth. As you know, we launched 4 years ago. Organic growth. We didn't spend any money on marketing and advertising. Why? Because there are high demand on property management. 10 years ago, the landlord used to manage his own property. COVID came and said, "Oh, you know what? I don't want to anymore manage. I'm giving it to someone who's going to do it for me. It's going to be amazing and everything." So those kind of things are changing, and it's changing so fast. You can't imagine how the shift in the mindset of agency is toward property management. It's growing a lot. So we have two model of revenue. You have the recurring revenue that come, you pay $10 a month, and then people use your service, and there is one-off revenue what can happen on a sale.
Commission.
You sell one thing, you have your commission, they come to you, and everything is there. So how to grow the industry is actually to have both, to have the recurring revenue and to have the one-off revenue combining, and use each revenue to grow the others. You know what I mean? I'm attracting big investor. I want to keep them with me with my recurring revenue, and other way around. I have recurring revenue. I'm going to attract big investors. Going to spend millions of dollars to buy a building from me. So like, those two things have to go hand.
It's like you cannot open up a coffee shop and not sell croissant.
Kind of thing, but
and you could not open a croissant shop and not sell coffee.
Yeah, but now the recurring revenue is saying you pay me $10 a month, and every day I'm going to give you free coffee, one coffee per day. So you are committed to me with $10, and I'm committed to give you one coffee per day.
Yeah.
And this, like in the now, if you're going to go and buy something on Amazon and say, okay, if you buy this every month from me, I'm going to give you 15% because he's guaranteeing the 10%. Kareem, for example, pay 18 dirham a month and have free delivery because they are attracting
Deliveroo
this.
As well.
Everybody is doing it because they're attract. And I can see it tomorrow in the future. Airline, you pay $100 a month every month, and you can fly as much as you want. You know, so the recurring revenue is like this is where everybody's trying to move. And property management is the perfect example of recurring revenue. That's why I see big future for property management globally.
And when you hear about a real estate company that doesn't do property management, what are you thinking about when you see this company?
Again, I think they are still growing, and they're still understanding the business more. It's not something for the long term for sure. And then in everything that happened globally, any kind of crisis globally happen, every agency who doesn't offer the full service is gonna close down. It's 100% sure, because you should have both revenue, recurring and sales. So it has to be together.
Okay. And what do you see as the future of PropTech? What's in the future for HappyTenant?
PropTech itself and how HappyTenant is evolving. I see myself, someone walking in to the house, doesn't have to really have the 5 keys in his pocket. Already
5 keys, 2 access cards,
smart homes, all interacting. You know, you're from one app that actually you can pay your rent, you can pay your diwa or your telecom and your power, and sustainability and saving energy is something that we're
that's a hot topic right
looking
now.
forward to.
And we've got, we've got COP28 on our doorstep this year, and I mean, since I've known you, you've always been talking about go paperless, you know.
So
like going green. Now it's more sustainability. So what role are you playing in this?
From day one, HappyTenant came with a very clear vision, and we want to transform the industry to be paperless and to be energy sufficient in a way that, we don't have to travel. You don't have to drive for 5 hours to
deliver checks, deliver contracts.
You don't have to do all this. Everything will be automated. Now we are looking at how HappyTenant will help building to be more sustainable, to measure those
savings,
the data, that actually how this building is green, the community can be green. So the future of HappyTenant is actually for sure moving for sustainability and efficiency and all those kind of things. That's going to be very interesting, but we're not going to talk about it now because it's a big subject, and it's a lot of detail, lot of data have to be measured. Now, Dubai hosting the COP28, we're going to meet all those interesting people coming and talking about the subject. For us, a big learning curve also for us, because everybody's learning. You know what I mean? It's a big subject. It's time now to have this conversation and to see how technology can help this section of the industry to grow. So.
And lastly, can you just share some success story that you have about, how HappyTenant has transformed an agency or an agent or the industry?
We have a lot of story to share.
Property management stories for days.
But no, that honestly speaking, when we launched HappyTenant 4 years ago, we thought that this is something that is gonna be a small project. We're gonna see like how this gonna impact the industry. We won the award of best tech company against all the biggest player globally because we come with something unique. We offer something different on the table. All our success story is our client success story. So we're very happy when someone join us with managing 50 unit and now they're managing 1,000 unit. Other success story is actually when we see international companies, a global brand, coming and approaching us and working with us, and they're growing 10,000 of units on our platform. This is something that we're very proud of, and every day we are proving to all our client and to all our tenants that actually we are here to improve your life, and we want you to be more happy. So it's something that we have.
Well, I wish you continued success.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you. World domination.
Thank you so much.
It's been a pleasure having you here. And
same here.
I hope you enjoyed that little episode about property management, the boring side of real estate, yes, but the most important, recurring revenue, the no-brainer. You have to be doing it. If your agency isn't offering property management, speak to your CEOs. And
then call us.
And then call you guys. And then, but before you do that, like, share, and subscribe, and join us on the next episode.
Thank you.
Bye.
Cool. Yep.